Projects need clearly defined results, and those clearly defined results should be SMART, meaning specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, a comprehensive project has the objectives, and they should be broken down into things like your main objectives. Those are things that are linked with the business success. You can have non-objectives. Those generally just add clarity to the scope, and the project boundaries become clearer. And you also have additional objectives. Now, these are often objectives that are not directly related to the main objectives, but are some things that could be done to contribute to the overall success of the project. The object breakdown structure, what we call the OBS, is a commonly accepted approach that we use to define the project's objectives. It often represents the individual components of the solution, how they relate to each other. It can be done in a hierarchical manner. You could display it through a graph or even as a table. After the OBS, after you've got the object breakdown structure, you're then going to have the work breakdown structure. Now, the work breakdown structure is designed basically as a structure to take all the tasks that are necessary to build the object breakdown structure. Now, the work breakdown structure, the WBS, usually does not have its basic elements of the solution to be able to build, but rather it shows those basic elements as what we call work packages. So we have now we have OBS, WBS, and WP for the work packages. Now, WBS, I should say, is a process-oriented, and it's done in phases, whereas the WPs are described as the detailed specifications, you know, the workhorse of what makes the WS happen. The WPs should include dependencies on other WPs if they are, and the WPs are often broken down as a task list, right? I have this work package that needs to be done, then this one, and this one. So it might be often something like a list I can just check off as we go. The audit function is an active part of the life cycle development of business applications. And it should facilitate making sure that there are proper controls that are designed and being implemented into the system. Now, notice I said it's an active part of the life cycle development. It's not something we do after it's done. It's not something we did before, but during this process. Because, really when we're thinking about controls, we should, and especially if we're thinking of them as security or ways to lower risk, that's something that we should be doing on an ongoing basis. And so that's kind of what we're doing as an audit function. We want to be actively involved in that life cycle, all the way from the business case all the way to the post-review. This should, again, make sure that we're looking at proper controls, making sure they're designed, planned for, implemented, and into the system. Besides the auditor, there are some other roles and responsibilities and groups of individuals. And again, we're going to kind of hit this at a high level because every organization may have different names for some of these positions or slightly tweaked assignments. And so, of course, CISA is going to give you these kind of global types of definitions. And let's take a look and see how they should be involved, especially in the system design. So number one, senior management should be there to show commitment to the project, kind of that top-down approach. The user management would be those people that would assume ownership of the project and, of course, of the resulting system. So if my goal was a project to or a program to get SAP in, eventually, user management is going to be owning that project and the resulting system when it's done. A project steering committee is going to be there to help provide direction and representation. The project sponsor will be providing funding for the project. Your systems development management is there to provide technical support. Your project manager should be there to give you the day-to-day management and leadership because they have, hopefully a more global scope over the project and know what needs to be done by different groups, different responsibilities to get to that end result. Some of the other groups that you might see are people like the systems development project team, who should be the ones that complete the assigned tasks. The user project team would be those who complete their assigned tasks, and the security officer to ensure the system controls are there to provide an effective level of protection. And quality assurance should be there to review the results and the deliverables, again, ensuring that we're meeting the expectations.